All right, so I've lived in San Antonio for many years, and decades really. And when I was down there, I had a buddy of mine. His name was Bob, and he was in pilot training. And the way he explained it to me is that they have these T-38s that they fly, which are a two-seat trainer. They look like a fighter plane, but they got two seats and they're just used for training. Anyway, they go up in these things and they fly around with somebody else in the instructor pilot in the airplane with them, and they do that for a while, and then finally they get to a point where they can go up by themselves, as long as they don't go too far away. They can just kind of go up and fly around the airspace around the airfield, mostly Randolph Air Force Base there, and kind of do whatever they want as long as they don't get in anybody's way and don't do anything too dramatic. So at any rate, Bob gets to that point where he gets up there, and it's his first time up there flying by himself, and he's up there and he's flying around and does that for a while, and he starts getting low on fuel. He needs to come back. And apparently when you come back towards the airfield, once you get within 3 miles of the airfield, you have to call into the tower, and they have to clear you for approach. And then you fly over the airfield, and then once you get over the airfield, you do a break where you fly in, you brake, you turn around, you come back, and then you descend and land on the airfield. So at any rate, he's coming in and he's getting low on fuel, and so he starts heading back to the airfield, and he needs to call in to get clearance for approach, and he realizes he's forgotten his call sign. His call sign is, he calls in, you don't use your name or nothing, you just, you call in, and it's like, Lima Alpha Baker or whatever, request approach. And he realizes he forgot his call sign. He doesn't know what his call sign is. So he's like, well, I'm running low on fuel, I got to come in. So he's like, Tower, this is Bob, request clearance to approach. And so the tower comes back on. They said, Bob, clear to approach. And so he comes in, he gets up over the airfield, and it looks good. And so he gets back on the radio and he says, Tower, this is Bob, request permission to brake. And tower comes back on, and they say, Bob, clear to brake. And so as he's turning, he's flying, he's turning, and he looks over, and he realizes stenciled on the wing of his airplane is this call sign, right? And he's like, what an idiot. It's right there on the wing, right? So he goes back, he's getting ready to land, and he gets back on the radio, and he goes, Tower, this is Lima Alpha Baker, request permission to land. And and the tower comes back in and goes, Bob, is that you? Crazy.